as they say, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So let's take the first step to share, to have some fun, and to have some candid conversations with, initially I would have said the bride and the bride to be, but now I would say Mr. and Mrs. Lalwani. Welcome to the brighter side of life, and I hope you enjoy this as much as I'm enjoying looking at the beautiful smiles on both your faces. So I really want to know your backstory. How did you meet and when did you meet?
Okay, so you want to go first?
Yes, absolutely. So I think, first of all, welcome to everybody on this wonderful episode of Brighter Side of Life. And thank you, Neeta, for taking the time to host us. Really appreciate. We're looking forward to a wonderful conversation. So I think where we begin takes us back in time to just about 2004.
Just a minute,
Yeah.
Sunil. Ritika, I would really appreciate if you have some interesting images to share as we are talking.
Okay.
And, it would make it much more interesting to see your backstory then.
Yeah. So we actually don't have images of 2004
Yeah.
because that's when we were just corresponding through email. We actually
Oh,
met on a matrimonial website, and it was
yeah.
his brother who first took the step and kind of reached out to me. I had created my own profile. I, being the independent woman that I am, I just have to do things myself, and I can't handle someone else doing it.
Boy, I know that.
So yeah, so I was chatting with his brother, and he was actually like more like the shy guy, not very keen on marriage at that point. And I think his family was pushing him. And so his brother was giving me this whole background on the family, on himself, on his kids in fact. And we were just chatting, and then he came into the picture. So 2004 was a lot of emails, and in fact we even have some of them recorded, and if we go back to our archives, they are still there.
Please, let's just have it here. Sunil, I want to hear you. I want to hear all of it.
Yeah.
Wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, no, actually, exactly what Ritika said, that it just takes me back to time when I was in London with my mom and dad. I was busy in my work. I remember I was doing a project with Universal Pictures at the time, and my brother was trying to kind of be the matchmaker and try to connect me with various prospects. And I have to be very honest, the minute he shared Ritika's profile, and let me go one step further and say the picture, that was it. I said, okay, I definitely want to connect with Ritika and get to know each other. Of course, back in the days, I think we were limited with Yahoo Mail. There was no Facebook. There was nothing of that kind. So, we just connected on Yahoo Mail, and we were just communicating. And that's how it all started, where Ritika was giving me a background of her life, her value system. I was giving her a background about my life and my value system. And, that's how it all really started.
Yeah. So yeah, we just started chatting, and we didn't know where it would go. And come 2005, I think we met for the first time in April, and we did a little, we met a few times. I actually went to Pune. I took this 3-hour train ride, and I stayed with my cousin, and I said I have to check out the guy and his family, and it was a very bold thing to do, I thought, at that point. But I did it nevertheless because I just needed to go out there and see him for myself and see the family and see what I was getting into. But a lot of back and forth happened, and I think at that point somehow things didn't things didn't go our way.
One minute, Ritika, I am in shock. Okay, so for most of you who don't know, Ritika is my
Yeah.
first cousin. She is my mama's daughter, and I am in shock that mama actually allowed you to go to Pune
So,
and meet up with Sunil.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, I mean, I still remember because my parents were with me in London, and I was at the time living in Switzerland. So at that point, I had just returned back. We were pretty much in London for over a year, my family and I. So I was just busy getting my house in order in Pune. And that's when Ritika said, I will just, go down and visit Sunil. And I still remember that day when Ritika had come to our house house, and she had come with Payal, and we had met. And I even remember us going to Koregaon Park to a cafe on the first floor.
Yeah.
And, that was it. And then, we tried to, connect more. I then came to Bombay to meet her dad, and we had a lovely conversation. And that's how it all started, really.
Yeah. But, but
So
it just
can we have some pictures on that if you have that?
So that's why we don't have anything that dates back to
We have-
2004. So,
We have-
2004, 2005 kind of ended there. And it was just a very formal thing where families met and, we met together, and we didn't really get to know each other really much. Like we didn't date or court at that point. And somehow I was on the brink of a career and I didn't want to relocate. And I think he had his own ideas about how, a marriage should pan out or whatever. And somehow it didn't click at that point. And and then bang, cut to 2021.
No, but
I get
then what happened? You
Yes. So the reason why we don't have any pictures was we were not privileged enough to have iPhones in those days.
So true.
We had no iPhones, and we were with those digital cameras that we had. Sometimes they used to be called Kodak moments.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all in those days, we used to capture memories in our head. Much rather take them on the iPhone. So that's how. So see, the thing was, I was an NRI at the time, and NRIs at the time, didn't have a lot of support in the terms of that fear factor was always there. So back 17 years ago, I mean, I know then I had come down just for a month. And, I was expecting that everything happens in a month, which was not, possible, right? I mean, Ritika, like she said, she was, going on with her career. And I said, okay, I'm here for a month, and what do we do? But despite all that, my brother's efforts, of course, her family's efforts as well, as they say, sometimes things are meant to happen when they're meant to happen. So unfortunately, at that point in time, I don't think, it moved as much as we would like to, but we were connected. The emotions were there. I went back to London again, and we tried to stay in touch again. And that's how it started.
Yeah.
So then later, I mean, this is much later now. So
Pretty much silence from both ends, and we kind of got back to our normal lives. And I pursued a career, and I think he pursued his, and he, so we both went our own ways, and we reconnected then in Jan 2021, actually, where I got this random email on Facebook. I got a Facebook message, and I hadn't heard from him at all in 16, 17 years. I didn't know what was happening to him. And he just said, let's reconnect, let's catch up. So we did. We got onto a call, and we just chatted and chatted. And he decided to visit Mumbai at some point. So a week or two later, he was in Mumbai. And that's when actually the journey began. So he kept coming every week, weekend after weekend. And we just decided, then it just progressed pretty rapidly. And we decided to tie the knot in May, which is again, so we have a few pictures of our courting time, in fact, in...
so this was Jan to May. That means you took about 4 months.
17 years to connect back.
Yeah.
What took you so long, Ritika?
So I came back in 2005, and then, we kind of said, because, for us, it was she is very close to her parents. I am very close to my parents. It was very important for the parents to come together. And at that point, because of the situation that we were in, it was difficult on both sides. So we had to get to a stage where we said, let's then live our separate lives, right? So that's what happened. The emotional. Sorry?
I said, Ritika, please share some pictures. Yeah. So go ahead, Sunil.
Yeah. So then life happened. So like I said, life happened, and Rita went on to pursue her dreams.
Yeah.
I went on and continued with my life. I was in Switzerland. Sorry?
I said, how beautiful is this?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So, I went on to live my life, and then I returned back to India in 2013 for family reasons. And then I started working here in India. And then just in Jan this year, this is God's honest truth, I was traveling with family to Nasik, right? And that's where my cousin's daughter just randomly said to me, my pet name is Chiku. She said, I think, Chiku, you should start connecting with everyone that you have not been in touch with in the past. And that's exactly what happened. And I said, okay. We came back from Nasik, and 3 days later, that's when I messaged Ritika on Facebook and said hi. I had no idea if she would remember me after 16 years, but she responded immediately. And then I definitely said, I will come to Mumbai and we will meet. And we could tell that the minute we met, and that's the part where, even though it's been 16 years,
We were meeting in this pre-COVID time, so all of us wearing masks, and whatever restaurant was open, we'd go for walks on Marine Drive, and it was just fun. It was just spending a lot of time, and I think I think during the pandemic, I think all of us kind of realized what we wanted from life, so the decision just became quicker. Like everything got clarified in a much bigger way. So it didn't take long to know, okay, I do want marriage, and I want it with the person.
And
So
also, I think with the pandemic, everything was more organic. Like you just
yeah,
mentioned, walks,
yeah,
probably just sitting at the beach, is
yeah,
something that one would have never done under normal
oh,
circumstances. So I
yeah,
guess the pandemic brought back a lot
yeah,
of the days in the past, like our
yeah,
parents or grandparents would go and sit, hold hands at the beach. So
yeah,
I'm guessing that was what was the idea of romance over here as well. So fabulous. And
yeah,
tell me what exactly was, after in between all this romance comes all the madness of getting ready for your
right,
wedding and
yeah, yeah,
sorting things out.
yeah.
So, how did you manage that?
So I was always very keen on an Akshaya Tritiya date. So the minute I knew what date it fell on, I said, okay, that's the day I want to marry. And I was quite insistent on it, even though it was a lockdown. I just wanted to
Why
execute it
Akshay
anyhow.
Tritiya?
Yeah.
Why Akshay
So
Tritiya?
yeah, so May 14th was it. And, so we said, let's just stick to the date and plan around it. So, it was a lockdown. It was actually pre the second wave. So the lockdown was about to start in a bigger way. But I tried to do whatever I could. Like I did a little bit of running around shopping. There was no real trousseau I could put into place because though we have put together something, but we were just doing whatever we could. We were shopping online. We were going to shops that were open. We were seeing what's possible, you know, and go and try out things. And yeah, and I think it was April 8th, thanks to all my exposure to the different shops and the sari walas who were draping me and who were, doing all this stuff. I got COVID. And so I was in bed from like April 9th to April 24th. Yes.
23rd.
23rd. So pretty much all of my stuff happened online. It be it coordinating with the wedding decorators, with the hotel, with designers, with everyone. I was just doing everything online. I was buying linen online. I was shopping with one cousin abroad, and she'd actually just share screen with me on Zoom, and we'd shop on Macy's, and she'd have it courier to him who was there in the States at that point. So we were just being really innovative about the shopping. My sister would go scouting all the shops since she was healthy and she had access to them, and she would show me stuff, put up stuff. We'd have WhatsApp video calls. And then of course the time came when I, reached out to you for the wedding outfit. And, that was an amazing moment. I think you just got me, you got my personality. And I think, the magic started from there really. I had
Yeah,
no idea what I wanted to look like.
from you and honest to truth, I was like, what's wrong with Ritika? She's going for this random red with green and blue, and I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah. Yeah. So I had no clue.
Listen, I'm taking over.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that was the best thing I did was reach out to you, because I had no clue as to how I should look on that day. It's the first time you're doing these things and you don't know what looks right, what doesn't look right. And I think what made it simpler for me was that you knew me, you knew my personality, you knew what would suit me. And I think that was really good. I think and also I think you made me take the bold steps which I may not have taken. Like I always wanted a pink as a bridal outfit, and I realized that it was not that great a color for me, and then you chose a red, which was really nice, which really stands out, and all the pictures look amazing. But for everyone out there, I must tell you that Neeta really held my hand through it all. I mean, right from helping me choose the outfit to supervising the makeup artist on the last day. She'd be with me on call all the time, and we actually went shopping for his accessories. So she also did Sunil's outfit, created
Absolutely.
Sunil's
And may
outfit.
I just say that I just went to give my measurements and that was it. I went like a mannequin, and what was delivered to me was absolute perfection.
Yeah.
And that's an
Yeah.
understatement. I mean, it was absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic. I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
And the level of detail that Neeta, you had given us when we went
Yeah.
to get that mukut, and how you
Yeah.
had shared the pictures
Yeah.
of how you wanted it to be selected.
Yeah.
We are
Thank you
indebted
so much. But
for your
this is
support
one of
during
the
the
most
time.
important days of your life. And if
Yeah.
if you have like the slightest notion that something is off, it ruins
Yeah.
the whole day for you, you know.
Absolutely,
If
because
you
I
are
was
in a
in.
serious situation where you cannot have that 1% doubt in your mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I knew for a fact if Ritika was going for the kind of imagery she showed me, or she was going for the light peach or the light beige,
Yeah.
it wouldn't work. So there is a lot of things that goes into making
Yeah.
your outfit.
Yeah.
It's not only your comfort, but it's also your ambience that talks.
Yeah.
Daytime weddings, sometimes the most brightest and beautiful of colors look fabulous, and you need it to lift you up.
Yeah.
And yeah, but whatever makes you look and feel good
Right.
as a designer, and of course as your elder sister as well as your elder cousin, I
Yeah.
am supposed to be there.
We were in a lockdown. I mean, I was in the US actually during the time Ritika was down with COVID, and we were like working out the plan, how it's
Yeah.
going to happen with the outfits. And I was coming back to Mumbai, and I said, let me just park myself in Mumbai till the wedding, because I'm not taking any chances of going to Pune, and then who knows what happens. And that's when we decided to just stay there, and you came to our rescue with the outfits, and we are so grateful to you, because everything that we have seen from the wedding to the outfit would not have been possible without you.
Thank you.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Tell
absolutely.
me, tell me how did you feel when you saw her in the outfit for the first time? Ritika, we need pictures, sweetheart. We
Yeah.
need pictures even
Okay.
Yes,
for
So
pictures.
we
I
moments.
have.
mean, it magical. How can I just
Then
describe
that
it?
one thing that suddenly when you see yourself in a wedding outfit, you feel, man, what,
Yeah. Yeah.
there is that one thought that comes in the bride's mind. It's not about the vanity aspect, it's not
Right.
about the dress, but personally, what did you think?
Well, I felt really special because I felt like, this was a new me. And I think if I was starting a new life, this was a completely new look. Like I barely put my hair up in a bun, or, I'm not a very makeup person. So for me, even doing all that makeup was a lot. And then just the colors, I think just the whole, I always didn't think I would wear such a heavy lehenga. I think it was though, but I always felt like, so I just felt like that whole grandeur, which I didn't expect at all, was what I felt. And I felt it perfectly matched the venue, and it just felt really regal and really rich. And that whole moment was very precious. It was very, special. Like I remember I came down, and my father like just came toward me to kiss me, and he was like, you've never looked so pretty. And I was like, yeah. So I think it's just those moments that you get because of how you look. That's what really touches you and says, okay, it was worth
And what did
all
mom
that. It
have
was
to
worth
say?
sitting for 2 hours of makeup. It was worth, you know, yeah, they had not seen me like this ever. So I think it was a change. That's why, yeah, I think just really feel very different, and you realize it's a new you. And I think that's what makes you feel more confident to take that step.
So
And
it
now I know
does,
why the bridal outfit is so important.
so it does make you feel confident to take that step into another,
Of course.
another beginning, right?
Yes, totally, totally.
And I
Like
think
I,
that's the reason why, I feel that, you know, your outfit has to be 100% you. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it just deters from all those emotions that a bride feels when she kind of just gets ready
Yeah.
and walks down. So
Right.
there's a
Right.
particular picture of you and Sunil in where he's whispering something to you. Sunil,
No.
let us in on that secret. What were you whispering?
There are not one whispers, that many whispers, but it's just basically saying that it's just one of the most happiest moments of my life, and I am grateful for all the blessings. I do feel that I must have done something right in this lifetime for destiny, karma, whatever word you choose to say, to allow us to come together after 16 long years and basically, take this journey to its logical conclusion of happiness forever.
Oh, that's so
That's essentially
beautiful.
what I was. When I came back from Switzerland, my mother wasn't keeping well, and unfortunately, 2019, she passed away.
Sorry to
Um,
hear that.
and she did. I do recall during the time when I was with her, a number of times she would say, because she had met Ritika in 2004, and fast forward 2016, 17, she would say, why don't you get in touch with Ritika? At that point, I was in my work. My mother had been through a kidney transplant. I was just preoccupied. I said yes, but I know today my mother, wherever she is, she's looking down upon me and Ritika, and so happy up there that finally my son has found his much needed happiness that he deserves. And for that, I'm very grateful.
You know what's amazing is this entire story of this such a long break and then coming back together.
Yeah.
Wow. Um, you know,
Goosebumps, yeah, I have them too right now. I will not deny it.
it's so true that marriages are made in heaven. You guys have brought a tear to my eye, but yes, marriages really are made in heaven. What were the chances that you would wait for this?
I don't know what I was waiting for, but for a long time,
Exactly.
I was like, will I be single all my life? Will I even marry? I was in twos about the whole thing. And, but yeah, like I said, I think the pandemic kind of highlighted a few things. Like, of course, I knew going forward, I did not want to spend my life alone. And so when the person came back and there was already, that whole groundwork had been done. So we just had to take off from where we left. And that made it just that much more easier. So, and I think he's so supportive as a person, and he's always been so encouraging. And I remember even in back in 2004, I wrote my first poem, and it was actually for him, and because he encouraged me to do it. So he knew where I was coming from. He kind of placed the right amount of value on my career, on my pursuits, interests, and that kind of gave me that push to, okay, I can make it work with this person. And for the longest time, no one thought I would even move from Mumbai, but I did. And that everyone says is such a big step. But I guess when you find the right person, you just you make the changes you have to make, because finally it's about a full lifetime.
So read us the poem, Ritika.
Oh no, that's somewhere, I don't know,
There is
saved
actually, now that you know,
Whatever you remember,
there
let's
was
have
so many poems that she had
somewhere.
written.
So because he used to keep calling me the beautiful mind, and so I actually took off from that, but I don't remember it, and we'll have to dig it out.
Let me let you in on a secret why I chose to call her the beautiful mind.
oh,
Because back in the days in 2004, you know how matrimonies were. You have a boy who's connecting with his to-be bride, and I casually asked this question after marriage: would you rather prefer staying alone with your husband, or would you prefer staying with his family? And she was like, I would miss a mother figure after marriage, and I would love to be part of the family. And that was like, beautiful mind.
there are a lot of these notions that my bride should look like this, and
Yeah.
the parents want their brides to look in a particular way. So I'm going to throw this question to all of you out there. Some of the family is there, and everyone's there. So tell me, Sunil, did you actually imagine Ritika in a red? Because I know a lot of people do have a notion of the woman of their dreams coming down in a particular vision. So was that your vision, or you were just taken aback?
I was totally taken aback. I mean, when I saw her, I know the dhol was playing, and after which I was sitting on the chair. I was not allowed to see her. So I was just saying, I knew for a fact that Neeta Lulla would create magic. And in the gateway room at the Taj, when Ritika walked down and she sat next to me, I was like thanking all my stars and saying, what have I done right in
For
this
a lot
life?
of things.
What have I done right that, this is happening in a lockdown and everything is falling to place. I mean, it was complete magic. I mean, we were honestly not even sure. Ritika had this conviction of pulling it through, and we were like working it out, saying, okay, if not the Taj, then where do we do it? Whether we go to the Gurdwara, whether we do it in the court, because everything was so fluid. We had no idea.
Yeah. Until the end, we didn't know how it would turn out.
Remember, she told me Gurdwara, and I said, "Where did you reach the Taj finally?"
No, so it was always been. So, actually, temples and gurdwaras were also shut during the lockdown. So we couldn't even do that. So someone told us, if you can get married, it's at the Taj. And we said, yeah. And it was actually always my dream also to get married at the Taj. So when it happened, it was like perfect. And but of course, the government mandate of 25 people made it really challenging, because the guest list was a big issue. We didn't want to offend people, and we wanted everyone to be there still. And we actually had some cousins who so sweetly said, okay, one of us will come in 1 hour and the other one will come the second hour. And luckily, a lot of them could just come. But and then we also did the wedding on Zoom. So we actually reached out to everyone. And that also Neeta pushed us and said, why aren't you doing it on Zoom? And then overnight we just fixed up the whole Zoom thingy, and people from everywhere watched. I think friends and family, and it was just great seeing their wishes, seeing that many of them woke up at odd hours in the United States and watched us through it, and Europe as well.
My brother actually had a basement party with his friends from his community for the entire duration of the wedding. And the Taj were very kind. It was originally for 2 hours, but it kind of got extended a little bit. But everybody watched it so much that for a moment we did not think that it was just 25 people. We almost felt that the entire universe was wishing us on this wonderful day. Literally, it felt that way.
So I'm going to throw questions at a lot of you viewers there. If there's anything you would like to ask Ritika, Sunil, on the way they kind of had a very seamless wedding in such testing times. And with the ease that it went through, it was really the universe bringing it all together and culminating. So guys, the platform is open to all of you.
I think also, if any of you have any questions for Neeta, because she's such a fabulous designer, and she's been part of weddings over the years. And if you'd like any tips from her, if you are planning a wedding, or if something about bridal wear, anything, I think you can address them to Neeta.
So Mami, tell me, what were the thoughts that came to your mind when you saw Ritika actually start her makeup, and B, when you saw her completely ready?
Yeah, Neetu, thanks a lot for all that you did. It was wonderful. The wedding was fabulous just because of your efforts. And thoughts in my mind were like, how will this whole thing go through? How will it happen? I was very anxious, very nervous. I didn't sleep the whole night. But when I saw the results, I was ecstatic. And I said, it has been a fabulous, fabulous day.
I mean, all I want to say is that, anybody who is looking for love, just be patient in life. There's always the greater force, and just believe in yourself. And like people have said, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And just carry on with, just carry on and, be positive about life. And you never know what comes your way, but just follow the signs. And that's what I did. Follow the signs. Our hearts go out to every single one who joined us for the wedding, and everyone who helped us plan, especially Ritika's parents. I mean, we were at the end of the day going through COVID. And even Rima, Ritika's sister, my brother in the US, my dad, all the support of the loved ones that we had, giving us that extra confidence that, while the state of Maharashtra was in lockdown, we had the conviction to proceed with executing a wedding, which would not have been possible without the support.
The firebrand was there in all her elements. I remember when she was even fitting her outfit at my store, Ritika.
Yeah.
Rima was like, okay, this has to be done, that
Yeah.
has to be done. I'm like,
Yeah.
calm down, Rima, calm down.
Yeah, so she was on top of things, and I think she was really also leading the way in a sense. So
Yes.
and I think that's what has to happen in a wedding, because you don't know how to do it. So many people will just hold your hand and take you where you have to, and you just have to go along. Like after a point, like even when like Neeta was suggesting white flowers, and I said, how do white flowers go with a red outfit? And then I said, okay, I'm just going to surrender to her vision,
Exactly.
because she has a vision and I don't, and she can exactly picture what she wants. So let's just go ahead with what she's saying. And so that's what we did. And I think that even like Rima would just go to places and she just know which fabric would look good on me, and she just buy it. And I'm like, okay, so I just let her hand over and let her do what she had to. And she was really
Me.
encouraging.
And I knew it was like perfect. No, nothing required.
Yeah.
It was a one-time measurement, and that was it. The outfit was ready. So for all the future grooms, do make sure that you do connect with Neeta Lulla. I mean, it was absolutely amazing, and I'm so grateful. I might sound like a broken record, but I have to keep saying that. Absolutely. But we definitely did try to do the best we could in our apartment in Pune, taking videos and sharing it with our families and trying to engage with them. So, you have to make the most of what you have at the time you have it.
Decorating the bed and all that with flowers and things like that, of course.
So we had a lot of the hotels put balloons, so we didn't need any more flowers.
Okay.
And my Masi from Pune, actually, she sent flowers the first day we entered. So we had these big bouquets of flowers, and she's been doing that ever since. So our home always has flowers, so it's great. But yeah, so I mean, it's been a non-stop celebration, and we are just eating and drinking and making videos of us eating and drinking, and we're gaining weight. And that's why I tell Neeta, will that outfit ever fit me again? Because it was so perfect at that point. But
How do you actually maintain that outfit? How have you kept it?
I've actually left it back home because I could not carry it to Pune. It was too heavy. But it's safe in my closet in the house. And I'm sure mommy will take good care of it, and I'll go back to it when needed. But as of now, I mean, I definitely want to make a sari for the blouse, because the blouse was beautiful too. And I see myself teaming that up with something. But I don't know, the lehenga is so bridal, right? And it was so, well, I was walking with it also. I felt this is something, I don't know, it was so heavy and completely bridal. So I don't know how that can be reused in the future.
But here's the thing, Rima, you can make a very basic neutral color kurti and wear this lehenga for somebody else's wedding with the red dupatta, or even with another dupatta with some red accents on it. Jewelry, and it'll be perfect to wear. My question was going to be that, are you going to wear your outfit again? And you've answered it, but and the blouse is again a red, which can go with a lot of colors. Will go with golds, with black, with green, with purples, with blues. So you can make the most of it. And thank you so much for this chat, because this is my first ever, and this is really special. And
it's special
all you out there, we are going to be doing more chats like this, because I have brides from over 3.5 decades, and some of them are now mothers whose kids are getting married as well. So every chat is going to be different, and you guys can log on. We will be sending out Zoom messages to all of you. And anyone else wants to say something special for Rima, for Ritika and Sunil?
Yeah, Neeta, it's Payal here. I've also been a bride that you've dressed up 25 years now. And
wow!
I must compliment you and say that, like you said, reusing the outfit. I have worn it. My cousins have worn it. And it's like forever. Your outfits are forever. So lovely, beautiful, and Ritika was looking gorgeous. I mean, she carried it off so well.
Yeah. So Payal was my bridesmaid actually. She stayed with me throughout the makeup, and she was correcting the dupatta every time it went a little off. And she was, I was wondering how I'd kind of go alone to the hotel and get ready because it was really early in the morning. And then Payal's like, no, I'm going to come and pick you up and come with you.
I remember the day, May 14th, 2021. And we were talking about poems earlier, Neeta, and today we were just looking back at some of the emails that I had from the archives from 16 years ago. And I just realized that 14th May 2005 was when I had written my first poem to Ritika when I was in Geneva. On the same date, 16 years ago.
Read it to us.
It's funny how things...
It's okay. It doesn't matter.
I think,
come on.
Yeah, I think I was in Geneva on a Saturday, and it was one of the, it was a flower garden show that they had. And I remember there was this rock of stone that was there. And I had, I think I remember it, where it said that I see the mountain now because I can see it because of you. I see the water. Maybe I should just read it out. Give me 1 second. And it was exactly 16 years ago.
Yeah, that one on the suspicious day.
I see the beautiful lake, but I can see it flowing only because of you. I see the snow-capped mountains, but I can feel it touching the blue skies above only because of you. I see the colorful tulips standing tall and straight from the earth beneath, but I can smell the fragrance only because of you. I can see the music playing, but I can hear the sound of music only because of you. And this was 14th of May, 2005. We got married 14th of May, 2021.
How fabulous is this? My God, you two are like a full powerhouse of romance. Wow. But
Look at it, yes.
This is wonderful. And you know what's beautiful is, Payal, thank you so much. Even after 20 years, when someone comes back and says that I'm still wearing your outfit, I think we designers are greedy for this. And at least me, I strive for this. It's not only about you wearing the outfit on the day of your wedding, but when I get responses like this is what makes me feel that I'm really, really blessed.
You are spreading 3.5 decades of happiness. You said 3.5 decades you have been designing.
I would say love and happiness.
Love and happiness.
The love gets stronger on that day. And I think you make that happen.
And the passion with which you do it, your conviction, no, it has to be done like this, not like this. I mean, it's amazing. People have to just say, okay, we are just being Jesus and you just fix us up. No, it's been a fascinating journey, fascinating. And of course, thanks to Ritika's mom and dad, Rima. I mean, the list goes on, right? To thank the people who have made happen, my brother Satish, Archana, Nikita, my niece, my nephew Adi, and my dad. I mean, I cannot thank them enough. And everything has come together, like they say, when what's meant to be is meant to be. And once again, thank you so much, Neeta, for realizing our dream. That's all I would say.
Thank you. And guys, this is going to be on my Instagram. You can, and on Ritika's Instagram as well very soon. So you can like, share, whatever. And we will soon be starting yet another platform of the same, the brighter side of life. This truly is the brighter side of life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you.